Well, welcome to Northern Arizona Real Estate Investment Hub. My name is Aleksandra. I'm a realtor at REMAX here in Flagstaff, and I'm here with Celestina Tan. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Celestina Tan. I'm the owner of Delight Homes. Thanks for having me, Aleksandra.
Yes, thank you so much for having me in this beautiful space. This is one of your rentals, right? So, um, Celestina's company specialized in short-term rentals here in Flagstaff, but also in the whole Northern Arizona. Um, can you tell me what made you to start this short-term rental business and how did it grow? How long has it been?
Well, I think like a lot of people in short-term rentals, it started by accident. So in 2016, um, my husband and I had just moved back from China, and my
Oh,
husband was
China.
working on getting his real estate, working on getting his acupuncture license that year. And the house that we had bought happened to have a basement apartment in it, ready to go. And his family from Australia was going to come visit, so we wanted to have it available for when they visited. But then we also needed some rental income to help us out during a tough year. So we put it on Airbnb and started renting it out, and it was fabulous. And we just
Wow.
having just moved from abroad, it was so fun because we had all kinds of guests from all over the world staying with us, and we loved meeting them. And they loved our space, and they loved our uh, local recommendations on where to see and what to do.
Mhm.
So that's how we started. And then it was also fabulous. It paid more than our mortgage
Oh,
for a couple
wow.
of years.
Crazy. Okay. No, that's amazing. So that was your first
So that was
property.
our first property. And then we saw that, oh, this actually can really work as a business. And so we bought another property in a couple of years after that. And that's how
Perfect.
we got started.
Nice. So I see now you have um, properties in a different spots of Arizona. You have it in Flagstaff, Sedona, in Clarkdale, right? In Cottonwood.
Yes, yes, yes.
How those markets differ? Do you see like any seasonal trends?
Yes. So the markets are really different, but they work together really well for us. Flagstaff is very seasonal. The summer is the high season. So
Mhm.
everyone wants to come from all of the desert towns, from Phoenix, Las Vegas, Tucson, all of the hot places all around us, to come to Flagstaff to get cool and enjoy the lovely weather and hiking trails.
Yeah.
So Flagstaff does really well in the summer. We also have some shoulder seasons, um, March and April and October and November, when we get Grand Canyon visitors who want to stay for a couple of days in Flagstaff. And then winter, depending on the snow, we can have some visitors for snow, but it has to be the right property in the right location to attract those kinds of visitors.
Okay.
And then Sedona has a totally different market. They're very busy in the shoulder seasons. In October and March tend to be their high
Mhm.
seasons, and summer is very slow.
Yeah, so one is kind of working for another one. Depends on the season. That's great. So out of all these, which one would you say is the most lucrative?
Sedona has the most consistent bookings, and Sedona has the biggest draw. People fly to Sedona, so you can charge the most. So nightly rate is
Hmm.
highest in Sedona.
Okay.
Flagstaff is great in the summertime, but it does have very slow winter. There's some slow fall times in the fall and the spring as well.
Okay. Can you share some like realistic cash flow expectations on each one, especially here in Flagstaff?
So what I have to say about cash flow is it's unlike long-term rentals, cash flow in short-term rentals is really hard to predict.
Yeah.
So much depends on the property itself, the style of the property, whether it was professionally designed or hodgepodge thrown together, um, the manager and how well it's managed, how clean the home is, how good the reviews are,
Yes.
have so much to do with how well the property performs. So you could have two identical properties. One is really well set up and really well
Hmm.
managed, and it's going to make $50,000 more than a property next door that is not well managed and not well set up.
Would you say that this is like $50,000 of the cash flow, roughly, or is it just like the income,
Of the
what
revenue,
with
of
the
the revenue.
revenue?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. What a potential short-term rental investor look for in a realtor in Flagstaff?
So I see a lot of investors, because I'm managing homes,
Mm-hmm.
that their realtors sold them bad properties for short-term rentals.
So
So
what would you?
certain areas do much better. So you need a realtor who knows Flagstaff really well, knows short-term rentals in Flagstaff well, knows which areas perform well and which areas don't perform well, understands the HOA regulations, because there's also strict regulations
Yes,
in certain
that's true
neighborhoods
too.
where it's
Yes.
not allowed. Um, and also knows what type of properties guests like. So people come to Northern Arizona to enjoy nature. So a nice backyard, a forest kind of atmosphere does really well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah.
Would you be able to tell which kind of neighborhood perform better than other right here in Flagstaff?
Yes. So actually, all of the properties that have kind of a cabiny nature feel do
Mm-hmm.
well. So Kachina Village does really well.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Interesting.
much
Okay.
better than, say, Continental Country Club. Those properties don't do very
Interesting.
well.
Because
Um,
there's so many short-term rentals out there.
yes, there
Wow.
maybe that's part of it. But I think something with people come here to be in the forest, in nature, so something has that vibe as well. And then properties off of Highway 180 also do well because of the location. They're close to the Grand Canyon, they're close to Snow Bowl,
Yeah,
so they do well. And then properties that you can walk to downtown do really well.
that's true too.
Properties on the east side of Flagstaff don't do as well, and I wouldn't recommend investing in them.
That's great. That's a great advice. So, are you interested in like expanding and getting new properties? How does that work? Because I just heard you could just got under contract with another property in Sedona, right?
So my husband and I are investing in a property in Sedona currently, and I would um, I would take on more management properties, but it has to be nice owners with nice
Okay,
homes.
that makes a lot of sense.
Because managing is a lot of work as well.
Yes, yes. I mean, it is for sure. So, tell me, what common mistakes do you see in new short-term rental investors?
I see a few common mistakes. I see people buying the wrong property. So people buy properties in locations that don't have a lot to offer
Hmm.
guests. Um,
Yeah, like you've mentioned that it needs to be, yes.
it needs to, yeah. And then I also see people buy nice properties and then under invest in furnishing and decor and backyard amenities. I see this all the time.
Hmm.
And then those properties don't perform very well, or they get bad guests that don't take very good care of the property, and then they're not making as much as their owners thought they would be making, and they end up selling. So it's better to invest in the property up front, set it up really well, spend money on durable, nice looking furnishings,
Yeah.
spend money on the backyard to make the backyard
No
space
white
really.
couches. Not joking. And last thing, if someone watching us right now has the capital ready to invest in our area, what specific advices would you give them about getting started right now? I know we're talking about the type of property to look for, but is there anything else that you could add?
um, Find an agent who can help you
That's
with the
true.
local market.
Yeah.
um, and don't underinvest on the furnishings
Hmm.
and outdoor amenities.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Celestina. That was so great to be here and even see one of your properties. Like I said, it's very, very beautiful. And yeah, thank you for watching us. You can like and subscribe if you want to learn a little bit more about the Flagstaff short-term rental market and long-term rental market overall. Thank you so much, Celestina, for having me. And yeah, see you next time.